We had the titles, we had the income, the stability, and we've walked away. In this episode, Britt and I are pulling back the curtain on what it's really like to leave six-figure jobs to building something from absolute scratch. No sugarcoating, no hindsight. Just the raw, honest truth of what it feels like to be in it right now. Before we dive into today's episode, have you grabbed your free copy of the Female Body Awareness Kit yet? If not, girl, you are missing out. This isn't your average PDF download. We are talking juicy checklists, hormone-friendly hacks, and real-life routines to help you feel in sync with your body. Whether you're navigating PCOS, endo, or just not quite feeling like yourself, think of it as a survival guide we wish we had years ago. And yup, it's totally free. Just head to our website or tap the link in the show notes to snag yours now.
Hello, howdy everyone. I know you're not all sitting at home listening to us, but who knows? I'm just going to imagine that, okay? How you going, Ames, today?
I'm doing pretty good. Do you know what? I actually would be so interested to see. I think we did a poll on Instagram a while back, didn't we? But I'd be so interested to see where people listen to podcasts.
Oh, yeah, after we've thinking everyone's sitting at home or
sitting at their computer waiting for the next episode. By the way, I just had the next episode. So, you know, the Dr. Jones.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Like, where do you listen to? Well, you don't listen to podcasts, Brittany. When was the last what was the last podcast you listened to?
Hey, it's not actually true. It's not that I don't listen to them. I just don't listen to episodes of them.
You say you don't have ADHD.
Michelle Laurie, she's funny.
Yeah.
I love listening to that. Crime. I love just Australian true crime.
Did you get your crime doc from our community chat?
No, I didn't. I asked again. And I was serious. I'm like, okay, it's 9 o'clock. I'm clearly going to bed. I ain't watching my doc.
You posted it in the Mama Talk chat. So I thought, I was
I know. Well, because mums like to wind down and watch something later on. So I thought, they would be able to give me a good shout out. And didn't come my way. I might have to try another one.
Yeah, what did you tell me ages ago? That if you watch crime, you're like a psychopath or something like that?
No.
Or a high chance of a psychopath?
No. I don't know. I can't even remember what I said. I'm not going to sit here because otherwise I'll come up with something and it's not true.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway. Oh, great. Thanks for asking, Amy.
How are you, Brittany? On this beautiful afternoon.
Not too bad. Went to the gym. Come on, I didn't wash my hair earlier and now it's all oily, so
Ditto, babe. Do you know what that reminds me? My mates are like, I just love the podcast because you and Britt honestly don't give a fuck compared to all these other podcasts that they're all like makeup and cake face.
I know.
And
I did do mine earlier, so it's kind of sweated off a bit, but oh well.
But did you train at the gym?
I did. What did I do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what weight I did because I came home to my husband. I'm like, so what weight do you do on the leg press? And then he told me how much, and then I'm like, okay, yeah.
No, I'm not talking about how much you lifted. I'm talking about what you did. What?
What I pressed at the gym, with the leg press where you do these.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I did squats. I did lunges.
So you did leg day?
I did leg day, yeah. I went on the, what's that one? CrossFit, cross trainer.
Oh, yeah? Look at you go, mate.
20 minutes of that. And then I did my back exercises to make sure I'm keeping that strong. So, yeah. Anyway.
Look at you go.
About me and my exercise aims to, What are we talking about today?
I love to hear it. I did my exercise routine a little bit different today.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do?
Well, because I was editing our videos, which I started from it. It took me fucking all night. My alarm went off at 4:15. I was like, no, I'm not getting up. Anyway, so I actually just went to the gym at 2 o'clock this afternoon, just casually, because we can do that now, because we're unemployed.
Now that we've got nothing else to do.
So,
podcasting. Sorry guys, it's actually really, really awesome. Sorry for the last comment I did on the first podcast. Everyone should do it.
About what? I'm so confused. What are you talking about?
Podcasting.
She's exhausted. She's done. I think she's exhausted.
Hilarious.
I think that you're exhausted with the amount of time that you're spending with me. When we were working, you at least had your Mondays off, Now you don't.
Yeah, but I think I still heard from you on a Monday.
Yeah, I think you did too.
You don't exhaust.
No. But yeah, I guess it's quite fitting that we that I was just talking about going to the gym at 2:00 because we're unemployed. But I think it's important for us to share, because I don't think a lot of people know, but both myself and you have left six-figure jobs just recently.
We've taken that leap. So, Ames, what made you actually leave that job?
So pretty. I went to Mount Everest Base Camp and had a massive epiphany and decided to quit.
Another epiphany, guys. Another epiphany. Do you know how many epiphanies she has per day? Just saying.
I'm having one right now.
Keep going.
No, I mean, look, it was something I always wanted to do, Britt. Ever since I was 20, always wanted to go off and do my own thing. Just timing was never right. Over the last couple of years, I've found what I want to do, which is obviously season, and launching it last year. Towards the end of last year, after launching it in June, it was for me that time where I was like, okay, it can only go so much with half of my time. Working full time, as what we were doing in sales in that industry, there was, a lot of challenges, quite a lot of pressure in a sales environment, and I put 100% into what I do. So for me, I had to give it my all during that 9 to 5, and then after hours I would work. But only in that time, there's only so much you can do. So really, I guess the epiphany came in January when I went to Mount Everest Base Camp, and I was like, you know what? If it's not now, when is it going to be? It was as simple as that. And from there, I walked into that office the day after, coming back, and I was like, yeah, I've got to make that decision. I've got to make that jump. Why did you leave?
You know what? Asking that question to me, actually, I don't know what it is, but it gives me a little bit of nerve, I don't know, I get a little bit nervous because I suppose for myself, look, it wasn't my long-term job, forever. I mean, long-term, I'm nearly 40, so how long am I going to work for? But anyway, it wasn't something I was going to stay up forever. However, I didn't have that opportunity to say goodbye to everyone like I would have wanted to, because I left obviously after losing Millie. Not everyone knows that out there. Unfortunately, I had I lost my baby. So I just felt like after maternity leave, I was never going to come back anyway. So I just thought, what's the point of forcing myself to go back into work in a situation where I'm not going to feel comfortable, I'm not in the right headspace. I'd rather feel myself around doing something really good. And that's where season came into it. And when you spoke to me about doing the podcast, I'm like, that could benefit my health. I get to still hang out with you every single day because we work really, really well together. And I think we're a really good team. So, I mean, put two of us together and we make something perfect, which I'm really excited about.
100%. I think I guess it's a mentality of and I don't know if I've actually told you this, and it gives me goosebumps, but yes, I went to Mount Everest. I keep getting, what are you saying?
Every time we talk, James always gets goosebumps. You should just be a walking goosebump.
Actually should. Do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to count the amount of times I get goosebumps in a day. Seriously.
Make a song out of it. It gives me goosebumps. You want to post some content? That's it.
I'll put a story up tomorrow on Juicy Girl Griff. If anyone's a DJ out there or knows a DJ, hit me up. But you losing Mill was a I want to say a cherry. What's the saying? Might say
cherry on the top.
Yeah, that's not, given the circumstances, not the right saying. But that for me was the tip, because you go to a place like Nepal, you realize how fucking overcomplicated we make our lives in Western countries, when in those developing countries life is so simple and they are the most happiest. So that obviously got to that point, and then obviously the horrible situation that you were put into, I was just like, do you know what? Life changes like that. And if you are not doing something that you enjoy, and you are not doing something that aligns with your morals and your values, given the opportunities we have, I'm not going to lie, obviously, we've worked hard to be where we are, Britt, but we're also very grateful that we're able to take this step. And I can appreciate that some people aren't able to do that, right? So it's important to make note of that. But I think it was at that point I was like, you know what? I was going to do this, but this is going to make me do this even more.
And I remember you coming back from Nepal, and I was on the phone to you, and you had walked into the office, and you were like, the feeling I just had walking back into the office, you automatically felt, I don't know if depressed is the right word, but like depressed, like you just, all your energy just went to negative, like you just didn't want to be there anymore. So how can you be your best self at somewhere that you're not wanting to be anymore?
100%.
And how can you train your team and, teach them the way you want to teach them if you're not your best self?
And you know what? I think you make and I had goosebumps again. You make such a good point, right? Because for people at home out there who don't know, so Britt and I were leaders in sales, and I think as leaders, we took that role very, very seriously. And you have to be your own best leader before you're anyone else's leader. And I think you make such an important point, Britt, of going, hey, we weren't right. It didn't feel right. And that's got nothing to do with the company or the environment. It was just like, you know what, pardon the pun, but the season is closed,
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right with the energy side of it, because I remember when I came back from maternity leave the first time, and I came back to a shit show, like an absolute mess.
Shit show. It was.
And I tried to put it all back together, but it was a bit of a headache because I had to deal with a lot of people that I suppose I put a lot of energy in and I wasn't getting it in return. So that's where the frustration crept in. And then it's where I knew this is I'm not going to be here for a very long time. So are you worried about money right now, Ames? How's that going for you? Obviously we're not employed. We have no income coming in.
We have is it time to show the bank account? Or my OnlyFans account?
I've actually thought about it, to be honest. I was like, mate, hands? I don't have my nails on I talked about last episode, so that probably wouldn't work well. And my feet, I do have pretty nice feet, so I could be do the feet one.
Yeah.
But I reckon you could definitely do it. Why not?
Yeah, again, I hope my mum isn't listening. But OnlyFans, it definitely has come into the equation. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, so it has. So you've done it.
Anyway, moving on. I want to be thoughtful with my answer to this question. And I was just looking at a book that I read years ago. I can't remember the title of it. I think it was called Happy Money by Ken Honda. We'll put it in the show notes. Am I worried about money and I'm going through that season over the last couple of weeks? 100%. So everyone at home, we've only just resigned. I'm 3 weeks in. Britt is officially a week in.
Yeah, maybe 2.
Yeah. So I was speaking to a friend this morning, ironically, because week 2 was really interesting for me. We've done this jump for so many reasons, and I knew getting out of my comfort zone and my growth was a massive part of doing this. But you also in that moment, you kind of go, oh yeah, I'll be fine. Don't doubt myself. Cool, go for it. And in week 2, I was I
don't have that healthy check coming through.
No, and our checks were fucking healthy. Very, very healthy. And, have I been able to create a life up until now where I can step away with some sort of comfortability? Yeah, I have. But I didn't think, Britt, and I'm not talking about the identity of the title as a state sales manager or the structure of going to 9 to 5. I am purely just talking that money hit in the bank account every single week. And I'm still battling it. And I feel like I'm going to battle it for a while, because then you kind of go, oh God, I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to do this. And we're obviously in a season where it's just me and you.
And you're like, we're going to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, but we're getting nothing in return.
100%. But I guess that's part of why we've done this. Do you know what I mean? It's a part of why we've walked away from it all.
And it's hard to say, because a lot of people out there, it's the last couple of years hasn't been easy for a lot of people. So we're not sitting here saying we've just dropped 6-figure jobs. Look at us go. We can do anything we want to do. We know it's been hard for people. So we really appreciate the support network we do have and the ability to do it. But in saying that, when things do happen in life, you realize money isn't everything. So
100%.
It's a way we can get around navigating, doing this, plus eventually figuring out how we're going to earn that income and be really grateful for everything we have put into place right now.
100%. I got goosebumps again. Every time I have goosebumps.
Well, at least I'm giving you goosebumps.
You are. Baby always give me goosebumps. There you go, Brent. There's another one. But I think you make such a good point there, B, because that's why I was thinking about that book and why I wanted to be thoughtful about the answer, because I reflected on I've reflected on that week in particular, and I was like, it was a tough week, you know. Again, I always say first world problems, and
emotional
because
you're saying bye to people as well.
Well, 100%. But I think that that identity, like I said, of seeing that income coming in every single week. And a couple of years ago, a friend of mine gave me suggested to read this book, Happy Money, and I think it's the same book. I really hope it is. Yeah, it is. So I'll just read you the blurb. Transform your relationship with money by following the Zen path to prosperity and financial peace of mind, based on the Japanese bestseller, which has sold more than 1 million copies, whatever. But it talks about the relationship between money and having a happy life. And like you said,
yeah,
we
fine balance.
It is a fine balance. And like, when you go and experience something like I experienced in January in Nepal, and you realize how fucking overcomplicated we make things. And again, bearing in mind what you said before, people are in so many different situations, and we're very grateful to be able to take this opportunity. But it's really like, you know what? Just go do it. Put yourself out there and let's just see. Because it wasn't worth me and you rocking up every morning in that office, not feeling ourselves, not being aligned, and then more importantly, then having to put faces on and lead, you know, people. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, and it gets tiring being fake. We're not somebody that puts on a mask.
Nah.
As you can probably all tell.
What would you say, Britt, like, is the hardest part right now?
The hardest part for me? I think, well, for everyday life is hard for me right now. Like, I actually went and saw my therapist today, and I think just because she kind of asked me a similar question. I said, I've been better since I've been able to exercise and create a bit more of a routine. So now that I've got a routine, I'm feeling better. But, like, it's a constant battle with my head. So, like, thinking of Mill. And then once I go down that rabbit hole, it's hard for me to kind of come back. But the one thing I am grateful for is having the podcast, what we're doing behind the scenes as well. I think that's keeping me distracted. And again, like I've said before, I like structure. So I'm getting that structure back into place. Money, yes, but like I'm not at that moment where I'm worried about the money, because my mental health is more important.
100%. So like, obviously, takeaway season, you would I guess the one thing that would be hard is that structure that 9 to 5 did give you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So like it did give me, I'd wake up, take Billy to daycare, go to work, come home, cook dinner. Like I didn't have time to think about what I was doing because I already had it in place. Where now, I think over the last couple of weeks, and even yourself, we've created a little bit of a structure for ourselves. Like even you said one day, you're like, so you're going to take Billy to daycare, and then after that, we're going to go to the gym, and then we'll jump on, then we'll have a chat, then we'll do this plan, this meeting. So it's kind of like we're working, which I think is really good, because then we can get the most out of our days.
100%. I think a mate asked me this the other day as well, and she didn't ask me. She actually, I'm going to shout out to her, Em, because like she's been phenomenal in this journey. She's created her business. She's been in it for 5 years, I think. But she's got a similar brain to me. And she was like, you need to implement a structure. You need to implement a structure for you that is both like, I know I've told you this, like a wet weather program and also like a normal program as well. So because like you said, for us, we're very structured individuals. So because we've been organized and planned that prior and prepared, like I'm not really missing that at all. Like I said, like for me, I'd probably say the biggest key thing is just, again, seeing that money constantly come in the bank every week, like we were paid weekly. So it was even better. And it's not even to spend that money, Britt. Like, and this is what I'm trying to unpack with myself.
It's security.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's
100%.
Just security.
You're so right.
Like
you were so right.
You hardly spent the money. Like you were working on season.
Yeah.
Like you were going home. You're working on season. You're having your tuna and rice that you have every single day anyway. So you weren't spending anything.
Yeah. And Britt is, do you know what? I have to tell you, Since you've told me, last week she told me I couldn't.
Yeah.
She told me off because she's like, if you have canned tuna, you have to at least get the good tuna. Anyway, so I've gotten the good tuna for you.
Yeah, because she was having no name brand. Like, one, I know you have no money, but like it's probably 50 cents more expensive and it's better for you. Don't eat shit. I mean, eating good, but you know what I'm saying.
I can't. Would you ever go back to corporate?
You know what? Like, you never know. I might look at this in a year's time, doubt it, but I might and be like, I actually miss transport, doubt it. But I might, or I might want to go back to another industry or try another industry or do some repping or what have you. I feel like you can never say never.
100%.
Or what we might grow might turn into a little bit of corporate. Who knows?
That's the
Probably
goal.
not, but it could.
Well, like a seasoned version of corporate.
Somewhat. Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, this is controversial, but I wouldn't even say transport's corporate. But anyway, we won't go into that.
No, it's just, no, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Let's
You know,
just
there's
leave
other
it.
people listening out there. I know, I was just going to say it's a very overpaid industry. It's what it is.
It is. So if you want to get paid really, really well, go into transport. I mean, you have to do the hard yards for the first couple of years. Definitely involve cold call and all that type of shit. But it is a very, very good, well-paying job and very good opportunities. Yeah. What would you say I guess we said that before about what you miss.
Yeah. I miss one.
I asked you what's the hardest part right now. But a separate question. Like, what do you miss?
Yeah. So there's a few things I'll miss. I'll miss like the people, because after 8 years, you make some good friends. Like they're not just like work colleagues anymore. They're really good friends. And that's in every department, not just in sales. Because you need every department. When you're in sales, you need every department working for you. So you have to you have to work the room. So I'm going to miss people. I would say I'll miss like the mentors or leaders that really helped me along the way. The amount that I've learned, like the list is endless, the skills I've learned. But yeah, like I would say that's pretty much what I'm going to miss. Not the selling transport or like people call me going, where the fuck's my truck? Like, I'm not going to miss that. But yeah. And my team, I'm going to really miss them. What would you say you wouldn't miss?
Fuck you for giving me that question. You can look like the goody two-shoes, you fucking teacher's pet, and I look like the loose shit. Anyway.
I thought I'd jump in quick because I knew she was going to ask me that question.
I'm filtered as well, so I can't fucking put that. I want to be thoughtful for my answer on this too. I have to be careful. Do you know what? I'm not going to... Because I guess we've both left, but we've both left for very different reasons. I think what I'm not going to miss is waking up every day feeling unaligned of what I'm meant to do. Because
that's deep.
Yeah. I really, 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 really struggled. And that's why, again, I've been wanting to do this for such a long time and never took the jump. And it was just the perfect time for me. But yeah, because like I wake up every morning now feeling so grateful and ready to go. But there were times there were so many days I'd wake up and I'd walk into and Britt, there was a point where I was just turning into someone that I wasn't. I'd walk into the office. I had no energy to say hi to people. I didn't want to talk to people. I would just, and that's not me at all. So I knew at that point, I was like, yeah. So that is what I 100% won't and do not miss.
It's a great answer, but
it's not safe. Controversial.
It's very,
but it's the truth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to talk about this podcast and no one wants to give a shit about the politics in transport. That's for another day. But and me being so that is just purely that is it, and that's why I had to do it. It's got nothing that company served me so well, gave me so much, the same with you, so many incredible, such incredible experience, and I wouldn't be the person I am today without it. But it was always a mean to an end for me. Always was. Yeah. So it was just a matter of yep, okay, cool, now's my time, and here we are. What advice would you give people who want to walk away from, 6-figure job or whatever it is to pursue something that maybe, actually, before I do that, I want to ask you one more question because I'm keen for your answer. Do you reckon people are judging us right now that we've left?
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you reckon people are listening being like, are you fucking serious? Like, if we had a paycheck right up here, that would be full transparency. Would they be like, are you guys serious? Like, what the fuck are you girls smoking?
Do you think, I don't know if people would be judging us based on our money, like, that we used to earn. I think people would be like, oh my God, Amy and Brittany, what loose gooses. Like, I can't believe they're walking away, sitting with each other, chatting all fucking day. They used to do that anyway, and they're not getting paid for it.
You're so right. You were so right.
I reckon that's how they would probably judge us. Or they might even go, good on them. Because to your next question, if someone is looking at leaving, get a piece of paper or the computer, like the way, you know, the young kids do it these days. I like a piece of paper, pen to paper.
You're still young, babe.
Write your cons and your pros, not your co's. Your cons and your pros, write them down. And
go to Mount Everest.
Go to Mount Everest. Look at what's going on around you. Life's too short. And if you want to do it and you've got a situation where you can financially do it and want to start your own business, or if you're looking at something else, jump on the computer and have a look. See what else is out there, because there are other jobs. Just fucking do it. Take the leap if you want to.
And I think I've lost my train of thought now. It was really good.
She's back, ladies and gentlemen. She's back. It's working.
I think, like, and again, we are very grateful to be able to make this step. We're making sacrifices, obviously. But I think that's important to go, okay, cool. Where can I live in my means, right? If I'm going and having coffee every day and I'm going out for dinner twice a week, but oh no, I couldn't afford to go do X because it's a lower income or whatever, and you really like deep down want to do it, assess that. Do your pros and cons.
What's more important?
Look at what's going on around you. Actually look at your like financial situation and go, okay, cool. Where, like, financially, I mean, that's obviously an obvious thing that, like, you might have to take that pay cut, but, like, where can you cut where can you cut your finances, and reading that book would be great to help you. And then going, okay, cool. Where can I fit this in, and what's the next step? Like you said, have a look around you, have conversations with people who are doing it themselves. Put yourself in, you know, I guess environments where you're listening to podcasts, you know, with other people, or call people up who you know of, and slide into their DMs and asking questions. Like, what's the worst they can say? No. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I've been super lucky with the people who've kind of said, yes, Ames, just go fucking do it. All of them, Britt, have all done this. So if I'm having a bad day, I know I just text them and go,
you can just give them a call.
I'm having one of these days. I just need a little bit of, you know, hype.
And it's good that you point out, like, go and ask the people around you, because people around you know what you are like as an individual. So I remember, like, it's a really good point you make. I remember when my auntie was staying here and I was doing a little bit from home. Auntie Deborah, yep.
Shout out Auntie Deborah.
So she was staying here for a little bit and I was on the computer and I was working from home because I had just gone back to work with Billy. And she heard a few of the team's phone calls I had. And I got off and she's like,
I really hope it wasn't mine.
Definitely not you. Like, she probably would have joined. And she was like, it's just taking all your energy away. Like, you look exhausted. Like, she could see I wasn't happy in that role. And when I've told her I've wanted to walk away, like, there's been no doubt. So if you do speak to those people that know you, they're probably going to give you honest feedback for when you do decide to leave. So
100%. 100%. And I think, thanks, Brittany. I also think, like, without, you know, I joke that you've got to go to Mount Everest, but, like, really looking internally, which I guess you can do pros and cons as well, but take yourself away. You know, like, I took myself away last year to Fingal and had, like, a weekend where I just, like, brainstormed. I was kind of confused with a lot of things in my life. Just took myself away, turn my phone off on do not disturb. You don't have to take yourself, like, you know, hours and hours away and go on an, you know, extravagant trip. But just spend some time looking at yourself and looking at, like, you know, where you want life to be, and are you know, what makes you happy, and, you know, what are the next steps, and how can you get there? Because, yeah, like, I mean, it sounds really big, but then you do it and then you're like, because, like, you know, I don't know about you, Brit, but, like, when I handed my resignation, I was like, and the build-up was, like, incredible. And after I did it, I was like, fuck this, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, it just, like,
Yeah, mine was a different situation. I didn't get to resign as I probably wanted to. I didn't get to say goodbye to anyone, so I wasn't sitting there having a party, but...
I know. It was one extreme to the other, wasn't it?
Sorry, Pete. Sorry.
I know. But yeah, I guess to sum up the advice that we said, write pros and cons list, spend some time looking internally, and go seek advice from, people within your circle and those people who've done it. And go from there, really.
Yeah. Perfect.
I mean, to be honest, we're just fucking around and finding out, so we'll let you know how it goes.
I mean, really, you should see how many takes we've done on this topic. Oh, we should have said that. Yeah, we should have said this. Oh, yeah, nah, too much.
Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this one, and if you're not happy in your job, just fucking do it.
Bye.
Bye.
Before you head out, don't forget to download the Body Awareness Kit. It's free and filled with tools and support we know so many of us need. From hormone balancing to daily wellness routines to real advocacy tips for PCOS and endo. You deserve to be informed and empowered. Get your copy now at the landing page or tap in the link in the show notes.